Alright, so the last thing you saw was me putting the plywood in the form, and then I took it out, got it all in there. The second sheet of plywood, which is actually for the center section, is in the tub, and I got another piece of plastic. This one's not leaking, so that's a good thing. So now I'm going to get this, this feels really dry. I think we're in good shape. Get that out of the form, and then we'll go to the next step here. All right, we'll get this out of here. And this is about the spring back that I expected. So that definitely happens. And what we'll do is, since this is the tip piece, this one's going to fit on to the center of my 3/8. I probably need to mark that just to make sure, and we'll be 3/16 on the back edge there. Super nice. So now what we got to do is I'm just going to mark the center of that. Get a tape measure here. So that's the center. Now I get a pencil and mark the location of the ribs. Oh, I need to get this 3/16 on here. I might actually do that with a chalk line. Alright, so now I got a really nice line to follow, and what we're going to do is we're going to get this on here, and we're going to mark the location of our ribs. Make sure we got a nice fit. Yeah, we got a really nice fit, so that looks really, really good. Alright, so now I'm going to do that part. I'm going to mark the leading edge here. And we've got a rib here. Alright, so we'll get a center line here. So we know what we're doing there. Probably should have gotten the bottom ones too, so. Coming underneath to mark where the rib is on the bottom. All right, so how this goes is we're gonna end up taping off the areas that are gonna come in contact with wood structure here, and once we get those taped off, then we're going to seal the rest of this with the varathane. And once that's all sealed, you remove the tape, and any place where there was tape, you just coat that completely with epoxy, and then you put epoxy on here, and then you put everything together. So the first step is just get this center line taped off. All right, so everything's all taped off, and it's time to get this thing coated with some varathane. All right, so this has got 2 coats of varathane on it now, and Flying Cub, who actually is the one who gave me the idea for the gusset from the spar to the rib, actually made a comment today about, are you putting this back in the form after you get the varathane on? There's currently nothing in the form, so it certainly can't hurt to put it in there. and maybe it will actually, you know, reduce the spring back a little bit. So I'm going to get the tape off, and then I'm going to, this has got 2 coats, so I'm going to take the tape off, and then I'm going to put it in the form, and I put some tape on the board that I have so it doesn't stick to anything here. And yeah, it can stay in there for till tomorrow morning. I think it's probably when I'll be back to take the other one out of the tub and put it in the form. So then this should be nice and dry. And I can actually get it attached to the wing. How cool is that? So yeah, let me get this tape off here. Let me see how what order I might have put it on. And I'm just taking it off because there's no reason to leave it on. Just realized I should put some gloves on here. Because it was still wet. That first piece came off pretty messy, so. Yeah, I don't know if I said, but I'll, if I haven't already linked to Flying Cub's channel, I'll do that for you, because he actually has a channel on YouTube as well, so. This guy's next. Now you can see any place that there's bare wood, all of that gets covered in epoxy when you put it on, and that way you guarantee you have no dry joints anywhere. We'll get epoxy on all the ribs, leading edge, all under here, bottom of the spar, and then we'll get epoxy in all these locations, and we just start stapling it together. So. But now I'm going to get it back in the form over here. Alright, so I put it back in the form. And we'll let's get some plants on it. Alright, so we got that done, and now what I'm going to do is, before I get this center section plywood on, I've got to get these straps in place, and we have to do the same here at the root on the leading edge. So I'm going to grab those, that hardware. It's AN 4-16A bolts. And then nearly everything on this plane is with a nylon AN lock nut. So I'll get a couple tools out and get those together, and we'll get them in place. All right. All right. So I got all my parts situated. I think I still got some stuff I can handle there. When I labeled all of my parts, because these are matched this way, the system I use is that the letters are always on this side instead of out here on the outside. So right main forward, right main aft. So these just go in here. On aircraft, it's a good practice. Anytime you're bolting things, always threads to the rear or threads down is the standard practice. So so we want to maintain that. I think I'm gonna have to go get a 1/4 inch bit and just run it through there. 1 second. All right, so I cleaned out those holes and I got that squared away. So now we just get these nuts on. It's a 360 AN 365-428 is the bolt, or the nut. Sorry, AN 4-16A is the nut. Is the bolt. AN 4-16A is the bolt. AN 365-428 is actually the nut. Okay, I'm glad I got that squared away. All right, so we'll get this one on. Now these need to be tight, but not they need to be tight, but you don't want to crush the wood, so that's the important thing. Alright, now I need to take a look because you're supposed to have 2 threads sticking out of the nut. And I don't have that, so even though the plans call for a 4-16A, that may not work out here, so let me take a look. I've got a couple 4-17s, so I'm gonna give those a try instead. All right, so I put in the 2 17s, and obviously with the 17, the important thing is that I still see thread at the base of this piece, because you don't want to get the nut tight and then have the bolt rotate. So we'll see if it tightens up well, and go from there. Right now I see thread, and it doesn't appear to be a problem, so but it's mainly what I'm concerned about is I don't want to see any of this sticking out of the other side. I want to see nothing but threads. So all right. realized that a socket would be better, but it's just personal taste. I kind of prefer to feel these by hand with a smaller wrench, so that I don't risk over torquing it. So that's just me. There are lots of things that I will use a socket on, don't worry, but this is just not one of them. I just prefer to have a better feel for it. So as long as this gets tight and I can still turn the nut, then I feel good that I've got the proper threads. So and what we'll do is we'll check these one more time before we get to putting this sheeting on. So although this one in particular is not impossible because you can actually access it through here. So it's this one on the leading edge down here that's more critical. So that's what I have for, God, you gotta love it when things go together like that. That's what I've got for 17s, so I can't do any more than that. I can't do these two, which actually go down here. So these two go here, right lean forward, would go there. There's no reason why these 16s would work out any different here than they did there, but we'll just give them a try just in case. Right lean forward. Right main aft. And I put that on backwards, so we'll redo that. And lo and behold, I did this one differently than I said I did. But at least I know when they're matched, the letters meet the letters, so. And we'll see how these work out on here. And I'm just gonna test it with the nut here. And it's the same situation. I won't get two threads coming out of the nut, so I'm gonna pull those out. All right, so I've got to buy some more 17s. All right, so thanks so much for checking out the video today. I do appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe and follow along. And tomorrow I will make a trip to Aircraft Spruce, and I will pick up some AN 17s for these. So I feel much better about that. And then I can get this part on here. So when we get to that metal sheeting, the center sheeting will be in good shape. And yeah, so hope you're doing well, and I'll catch you later.